in EMEA Clash.
And it's an explosive start as well. Waylay's immediately trading places, backing out, getting that information. Zeus, though, able to walk away with the full HP runner, just a little bit more cut down. No deterrent, though. Joblife just happy to walk through, able to take the space, take the control. And it's already actually just a forced, awkward retake here that FUT are trying to do. But if JL are going to meet them at the pass, they're not going to have the chance.
Yeah, it's beautiful work from Joblife, just cutting straight into the B site. Runner hitting only headshots right now by the looks of it. And, I mean, the solo Waylay with how it was set up sometimes can struggle, but looks as if they've had no problem at all so far. qRaxs has a lot to do, but he has got started.
Surely not. I mean, the hunt is there, but you still got to take at least 2 more 1v1s afterwards. There's one. There's one. Maybe I spoke too soon.
If Runner's not getting the numbers, at least domestically, then he's creating the space for this team, and he will lead the line here, charging through the elbow position. Zeus does get flashed out, but very quickly recorrects, recalls through the link, and with Doma and Chiwa both down, Joblife standing in a 3 versus 5 with no spike plant.
This is a dream retake for FUT. Surely they cannot give this away. The pop flash comes through. KROSTALY is able to get through the arc. The second one as well, the light speed, just to push all the space back onto the site here. But there's still a lot of positioning here. There's still a lot of clearance required. FUT,
like thinking about it, but you just wait for those players to get up link and use the wall. That's exactly what he does.
I was gonna say, like Thunder, potentially he strikes. He 180s instead. Takes the head off of Doma. Takes the head off of Chiwa. Making it up, making it shorty. He can do it all. The god of Thunder. He just strikes from the skies to take 2.
This guy's insane. This is the Zeus that I said could potentially win FUT this series if he shows up. Great delay with the ult, and now the retake coming in.
And it is going to be a decent retake here. At least you've got the Prowler, you've got that capability to clear out, but you've got that, look at that lurk from Zeus up on mid. It's a decent bit of positioning gain, but maybe not enough time here, depending on how the spike wants to take. Beautiful throw of the Seas. Runner doesn't actually carry it. Good for 1. Meanwhile, the backup here from kamyk able to make it a second, and suddenly here, it's a good retake, but the spike's already taken down, and FUT are just going to have to leave.
Yeah, it's going to mean that Joblife can retake beat. That's what I wanted to see. It is this off duel to start, and he will win it.
Zeus is just a bit faster, but meanwhile, it's all a bit of a kind of a foregone conclusion, a bit of a buy and sell, and it's FUT the ones to be selling here. The B site given up here essentially for free off the back of that operator duel, and KROSTALY getting shot in the back by Enzo. You really have to commemorate just Joblife, how these executes are going, right? Sometimes it's good enough because you just trade it out, you drop the op, you go in with a phantom entry, but at this point you've only got 1 entry really. It's not even
part for FUT in that situation as well, of course, as Zeus is going to get away with the save here, or so you'd think.
Thank you all very much for joining us, of course, but sometimes the shenanigans just get a bit too far. And speaking of shenanigans, right, Joblife just all of a sudden walking up down mid with not a care in the world.
Yeah, and they're straight into yetujey, who's able to pick up 1, but that's a trade that you're very happy to make in this situation. Chiwa continuing another of his vintage lurks, just cutting this one off at the supply line. Zeus trading it. Very, very scrappy round so far, but you've got to keep your eyes on kamyk because he's creating the space towards B.
He's getting this insight, and all he needs to do as well is look to his left. The Prowler is going to be everything. qRaxs just doesn't get the timing, doesn't go in his favor because of that now. An empty B site, no Hunter's Fury at the very least for Joblife, so you don't have to worry about that if you're FUT. And these 2 ultimates, they need to come in big here, ultimates are built for a retake like this.
Yeah, they are, but when you look at the player positions on Joblife, they've got 2 players deep in spawn, and another one coming from their own attacker's side. I mean, FUT are just completely sandwiched right now in the site. They don't know where to look. They don't have at least even an idea of where they should. 4-0 on Split, which is up next. So actually, it only gets better for them in this veto. I think it's fair to argue. One last chance for them to push the boat out, and it's Runner again. Razor sharp so far.
Manages to answer back too, though, from FUT, and with the null command online, suddenly
like Larok moving to more of a duelist in general, double duelist, has been so huge for their form as of right now. I'll hold that thought because yetujey is behind all three players. This could be absolutely devastating, and at the very least, he's going to find the first. The follow-up's pretty good, though. And with that, Doma requires a 1 versus 3.
Okay, with only the frag needed as well. No flashes, no knife for the suppression, and for anyone that hasn't been keeping an eye, that is a lot longer of a cooldown than it used to be. You keep an eye on that countdown down at the bottom. You'll be seeing that come through. Speaking of the knife, the opposition comes through. Doma has to try and clear it. Turns the flash, gets one, drops the nade down, buys some time. They swing it.
If we're to entertain the possibility of a comeback on Corrode, starting off with an A split, and MrFaliN's already found the first. KROSTALY not too far behind either, and so they start to pile on the pressure towards chiwa. Drops back to the support of Doma, and with him by his side, can only stand for the 1. Joblife getting run over here in the end. And FUT starting to put things in a slightly better direction, bookending the half with a round either side of it.
Unless it's too much. Like, the spike is already ticked down. I refuse to believe a world that Enzo makes this work, especially. All FUT really have to do is play these angles, play close, and that's exactly what they're doing. You're seeing the crossfire come from Arch. You're seeing the setup there, the double play just outside the smoke. Enzo, to his patience, playing this incredibly patient. Okay, well...
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's patient, and then there's just playing for KD. And
I kind of like the selling of the Guardian shot.
Nice.
Just to, yeah, that was beautiful. I like the selling of the Guardian shot as well, just to kind of draw that attention towards mid. But as I say that, actually, it's a bloodbath on the Arch. Zeus, the Guardian of Guardians, the 3k to pick up the spike, and that will be the ultimate online as the spike goes down.
He's getting a multi every round. This is the Zeus that wins you the game, but still it's a 2v2. The back, his partnership with MrFaliN specifically. Got a bit of a sight hold happening here, at least cosplaying one. Doma's looking the wrong way, so nothing comes of it. And actually, chiwa is forced to forfeit almost all of the space. Joblife still holding on to mid space, but that's about it right now.
Well, I mean, it's a good it's a decisive disengage, which I like, but now FUT are doing what Joblife were doing. This very proactive space, this timing from Zeus is just godly. Pardon the pun here. The Odin at least going to cut down the Battle of the Gods. Enzo walks away holding his, but MrFaliN is just being held on that heaven angle. He's got all the backup he needs, so he can just get the frags onto the site. The information's been found. kamyk not gonna be long for this world, at least I would imagine, has he? He's got the smoke, sure, but he's got 3 people he needs to deal with. Positioning comes through as well. FUT are gonna make their attempts clear. They're gonna make their presence known. Will this Sova do or die? He finds only one as he's traded out.
Yeah, 1 isn't going to be enough in this situation. You can tell Joblife looking like they're catering for a retake here with Runner's ult in mind as well. Doma 1 off of his. chiwa the same, in fact. With just how passive they've been in a lot of these situations. A lot of gaps opening up on the map. kamyk still holding steadfast in elbow. Quick double check from KROSTALY. Gets away with it. Ult comes in, missed Molly, but Zeus is just good for 2 every damn time. Runner's got to pull it out the hat and go one step better. Find all 3. Prowler, a reveal, several tools that could be used. Runner was thinking about hanging around for just a moment longer, but in backtracking towards elbow, Zeus flashed in. Has a fight which he wins quite handily in the end. Pit in middle is good for Joblife, but only really for chiwa, as the rest are retaking from defender spawn.
Just an unlucky reposition from him, and now the Steel Garden. An ultimate that we have not seen used much of yet. yetujey never really having the opportunity, but emphasis on opportunity as Zeus able to pick up Enzo off the back of it, and suddenly kamyk and chiwa, I mean, kamyk's already having to run away. chiwa, though, in a completely different postcode all by themselves. A little bit of an exploration, a journey to potentially get some exits, but we're seeing the light at the end of this tunnel, and to be honest, both teams seeing a bright end potentially for them, especially if chiwa can at least do a little bit more econ damage, cause a little bit more concern. But FUT
stacking more bodies towards B, couple in elbow here, and that's the site under threat. FUT making their road, the warpath towards A to end this map.
No,
no, it's just my feed. Carry on.
No ultimates though, at least, and because of that we've now got a 5 versus 5 ultimateless standoff here. FUT and Joblife with nothing but the mechanics and the utility to make this work. The ultimate's not going to come online. The first kill for kamyk is going to be good. The back and forth now is all the flashes, the mollies, the snake bites, everything you could think of, as well as just good old-fashioned spray and pray from Zeus. Is going to get is through the smoke. The conversion pass because of that comes online. KROSTALY gets hit by his own teammate. The jump peak. That's going to make a difference. Look at, oh, they're so aggressive though, and this has been called out. Zeus not going to be able to find it though. The awareness is there, but the mechanics just not going to be enough. KROSTALY doesn't even need to see his opposition though.
Continuing on this proactive path, ult queued up. FUT waiting here. Is it going to arrive in time? No, doesn't look like it. FUT find 2 of their own, and it's only Runner here in the meantime. Has a lot of work, but can he shoulder the weight? Doesn't look like it. Catches a bullet to the brain instead. And oh, while Enzo's going to hit the first pulse of his ult, it's actually immediately taken down KROSTALY. His own null command expired, so the core couldn't be stabilized. It's 2v2. Joblife have split up, but FUT are looking towards B.
Oh, this is a hell of a call from Joblife. This is essentially a 1v2 for the game, right? 14 seconds left. You're gonna have this time now. The spike's not gonna be stopped at this stage. Enzo with so much utility, but he's trying to go off of timing. The shots are a little bit shaky, but he gets them regardless, and he's playing distraction. A lot smoother from FUT than Joblife, all things considered, and especially with the Runner. Bloodbath, but a little less sudden than you're typically used to hearing. The gun barrel's going to get spotted. Zeus, little bit of indecision, but he's able to find one in doma. Yetujey, meanwhile, just in that elbow angle, keeping it all controlled, all locked down. You don't have to worry, Zeus, about anything else. Just your own life here, but the spike dropped and the Odin spray to come through.
He's only a few away from 40. Would have needed an ace in this round to hit it that early, but still in a strong position to do so. Does trade out his own life.
Because at this point now, Runner gonna have to hold his ground, but at some point there is an echo, there's a thunderstorm behind you. You're gonna have to take your attention away from it. Doma at least good for 1, and that could have been all that's necessary. The dash not gonna be good enough, but there is still damage done.
Yeah, quick bait and switch actually, so sets up for a trade through KROSTALY, and he takes the op into this post plant. FUT bunkering down. Joblife one last chance to keep themselves in Corrode.
A lot has stared out. The Odin gets a lot scarier when you've got a health value of 12, it turns out, and you're not at the wall. Then you're not the safest angle for it. The orb gonna drop. This timing here, the elbow spot. kamyk is found, so that means KROSTALY gonna stay alive. 12 HP, the Odin spamming him. Snakebite to cover off Arch, but the damage could be done here. 2 HP, the spike is still ticking. KROSTALY just running around, trying to dodge the damage, trying to find the spike. Enzo is able to find it and tap it, but the timing is not there. Like the bigger, the wider statistics, but good executes, good aggression, and all of a sudden it can be a very attacker side looking map. And when you've got such an excellent split from FUT, the control onto Heaven, the control from Garage, answered back well from Joblife, but not going to be enough here. Still the fight going through from chiwa.
Yeah, chiwa just wrapping around this pillar here, looking to see if he can get any extra work done. Can't. Heading into the retake, Joblife do have a few tools here still left to use.
Split, a map that can be made or broken off of executes like this.
Oh, a lot of damage onto qRaxs. Does manage to get off the saturate, but the trades are good for Joblife.
Full use from KROSTALY. Wouldn't hate to see it, especially because we are still so early on, but it means if you don't use the ultimate here, you'll have it for the future ones. If the spike can at least go down, then FUT making themselves look very clean, especially if Yetujey can do that! 1, 2, and 3. You've seen nothing, Yetujey. 3 from the Marshal, and he has just locked everything down on this A site.
That is unbelievable from Yetujey. Lining them up one at a time with the Marshal. Doma's got it all to do.
Like, these guns do bring a respect to their name, and there will be no respect granted to JL's A site.
It's a brilliant segue though, because Doma is right here with an operator on site, and this is the kind of threat that Joblife do have when they play in unison. The overwhelming amount of utility, the saturate, the salvos coming in, and it is just a sole player advantage as it stands. Yetujey still up on his feet and has been putting foot on his back for the last few. qRaxs is good bait here.
No fake flash. No fake flash possibility, but qRaxs is going to fall regardless, and kamyk, yetujey now just has to do it all here. Has to at least got the spike, so a plant potentially could go down if he's given away, but the operator is holding this angle. A rare, unfortunate miss. Yetujey still out with his life, but 40 seconds left, and Joblife are ready to meet him on this B site. There is no way. Surely, you've got a lot of time to kill kamyk if you're playing for the timer.
Yeah, kamyk does TP out in the end from the smoke, which he originally had to push the envelope there, but Yetujey finds his first quick tap.
Come from these types of moments, and the ult's being traded. Doma with the ult, the trade's coming back and forth. It's going the way of FUT though, and the A site gonna fall silent.
Yeah, Joblife again trying to disrespect that push by lumping in some of their own utility. This time, FUT do find the kills they require to take A. And with kamyk dropping on the back line, I think that's any real hope that this round could come together for them lost. MrFaliN still out on an island here. Enzo with a judge. Does recover a rifle, but just look how disciplined MrFaliN is being. He knows he has that gravity well for post-plant in case it's required, but you don't feel like that's really going to be a problem right now.
I mean, Enzo, good for one. Gets Armageddon at least online here, unless there's like a very big upset. Manages to get the frag onto Zeus. So a bigger deal, and could get away with the gun here. Looking a little bit likely, depending on MrFaliN's time. And Enzo stood still, knew he's there. Oh, bit of damage done. But all of a sudden, that actually gets yetujey into mission. That gets him up to speed. He's running. He's gonna ready off of this information. Will it be fast enough? We can wait and see.
Yeah, Enzo doesn't want to overcommit. Runner does well to stall this push out, but takes a hefty toll of HP at the same time. Runner still going. Like a traction engine. Zeus trying to play himself out.
Harder done than said, but it's not impossible.
Even just going for a little ult combo here, or at least thinking about the idea. Enzo sending in. Oh, the Armageddon! What?
The body block!
And the convergent banner in the works here.
30 seconds left.
4 versus 2 situation, and if they can find a way to collapse on B, maybe there's a threat here. Yetujey has found Doma. 2 versus 2 on B.
Viper's Pit as well. I mean, this is the thing. One frag goes the one way, and the timing as well. 12 seconds though. I think the timer might just come back to bite FUT, especially with kamyk's timing here. A double kill required from MrFaliN in the space of a second. Yeah, even with that first frag. Paranoia decides we could literally just see a reversal of that happen, and that looks to be exactly the case. Cosmic Divide is down. The Nightfall as well, just to create that bit more space. Runner managing to toe the line on the Cosmic Divide absolutely beautifully, but still all of this space, and the Viper's Pit online as well. Yeah, FUT seen what Joblife did, and they want a piece of the action.
They're all in on this eco. That's crazy. And I think it might just pay off for them. 5 versus 5 retake up against this Viper's Pit. It's just going to choke them out. Joblife here in this situation, well, they're not going to have any ults of their own anyway, so FUT just taking them to town. They say, you know what, you want to skew the battlefield? We'll just do the same. Yetujey drops, that's the pit now gone. It could be problems. Joblife starting to go onto the site here. And they still need to get that defuse in. kamyk has 3. Needs a little more than that. Zeus has even gone for his own ultimate. Oh! What am I? Then win it anyway. So it's not broken the money. And it hasn't broken the spirits of Joblife either, it looks like. Couple trades in mid and we're at a 3-on-3.
I mean, just the fight for mid has been and gone. Viper's gone. Your Tejo is gone. Meanwhile, both of your entries, though, if your FUT are dead. Yetujey gets the timing, gets answered back onto immediately another 2 versus, well, technically 2 versus 1 just from the timing.
What are we doing?
FALIN just goes into the extra dimension and
the new face in the team at this point, the prospect, but he makes a rookie mistake. 2v1 on Enzo as the rest are pushing in from tower. They've just got to make sure they clear that close corner, and sometimes it's the easy ones that you miss out on, but no, nice shot from Yetu, and it's a 4 versus 5 now that Joblife have to make it back from.
Oh, She was waiting in meal, but that is an express delivery. qRaxs' bullet to Chiwa's dome takes him out, and 5 versus 3 now. The retake looking more and more likely for FUT here. Runner actually walking up those stairs, but he's being held. At least the timing here, yes. FALIN and KROSTALY able to make this work. Suddenly kamyk always feels like the last man standing, but never in a position that he can knock the one there. The stars are there, or there's something laid down. As you can see, Runner having to deal with all of that. And MrFaliN just going for the 180, trying to predict Joblife's attack, but getting shot in the back for it here. A comfortable push from Joblife, a necessary one at that.
Yeah, ankle's broken for MrFaliN. kamyk getting another. Just feels like he's always good for one, but like no more than one.
Yes.
It's another similar situation. There's a Phantom in this bonus. I mean, everyone has money, so FUT should give this their best go. There is little utility left, though. Just qRaxs with his own Saturate.
Else just wanting to play this patient. The Teho utility now we're going to be seeing FUT don't want to be getting into post-plant scenarios if Enzo's alive, right? The special delivery, now that it does damage, it's still a strong stun, and then the salvo just incredibly good at killing time. The spike's still going to get tapped. qRaxs is trying to make someone kind of fear his...
If they don't use the salvos early, they're going to have them. They do here to set up Runner.
Oh, the utility, it takes a second, but then he runs with it. A nice double from Runner. KROSTALY getting a bit of damage, doing a bit of damage themselves. Doma gonna fall at least here, and KROSTALY making their presence aware, tries to go for another swing. Chiwa going to shut those shenanigans down. yetujey answers back, but the trades are just clean, and a one-man army from Mr. An accidental teammate utility usage, but one that could work out for Joblife in spades.
Quick execution here. One of the benefits of the Waylay you were mentioning there is the fact that, yeah, it gives you far too much of a distraction. Don't know where to look. And with Doma closing in as well, it's just completely overwhelmed on the site, MrFaliN. Joblife don't have too much real estate here in post-plant, but what they do have is numbers.
Spike planted.
Can you count to the higher number? Can you stop these 2-for-1s? But it is Zeus. It is Zeus that we've talked about typically gets the kind of at least 2 frags. Armageddon forces yetujey in to the firing line. qRaxs is though fighting back with 2. 3 make it as well, but what? Especially with how the defense has been here, Pearl's a tough map to defend on the best of times.
Yeah, I mean, Pearl also isn't a great map for Joblife on the whole, but we'll have to see if they can get there first. qRaxs dives in head first, and kamyk is all too happy to oblige in that situation. Oh, stick of the ult from kamyk, and I don't know. Okay, what goes around comes around, I guess. Now FUT are in a brilliant position to hold this site.
Especially if yetujey can land that, right? The Viper's wall goes up. He's not really expecting everyone else to be staring at him. The wall goes down. No one is actually spotted.
If you choose to rotate, so finally they get notification as the spike goes in, and it's all about clearing Chiwa from the corner. He is deleted by Zeus, and now FUT have a runway for this retake.
Oh, no Viper's pit anymore. Nothing to hide behind Joblife, just the mechanics here. The classic not going to be enough for yetujey.
Okay.
No operator to worry about just yet, but still a lot more to do. Convergent paths online, it is going to get
spotted.
Popped. He's got it.
Runner just saw their feet. He's going to pop the ult and walks out and dies anyway. Playing from heaven. So it's all on to Doma now. The shoulders of someone so capable.
That they need to do. So the endurance already being called into question. Of course, very valid, very experienced veteran rosters here. So should be used to this kind of more endurance level test, but still something to consider, a factor to be pointed out. And Doma already gone with qRaxs as well.
Similar set piece from Joblife, but no return on it this time, or so you'd think. Enzo and kamyk combining, the former Fnatic duo, have pushed this to a winnable situation.
There's a lot from Enzo here as well. You've still got the drone, you've got a salvo. There is a lot of utility here, a lot of information can be gained, and we see the drone come through, get shot down. MrFaliN wanting to take all the heat off of his teammate, make sure that Joblife don't have an idea of where yetujey is. The Viper's Pit, of course, though, from chiwa, it's not going to be a factor here. It's going to be lost one way or the other. yetujey finds kamyk here, 85 HP. Enzo, if he fires the salvo as well, he gives his position away. He's not going to do it just yet. He wants to get the timing. He's done exactly that, but the shots go a bit away. The shots miss. The spike gets defused.